That's a good biscuit. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm the Big B, little T's behind the camera today. This is my third biscuit of the year. It's from this book called Still We Rise. There are so many different ones in there. We're gonna try a different one today. Cinnamon sugar and pecan biscuits, but we're going to adapt it to walnuts. So we're gonna get started right now. First thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna mix up the cinnamon sugar topping. This reminds me of growing up when you had cinnamon sugar toast. So we need 2 tablespoons of sugar. So we're gonna do 1, we're gonna do 2, and we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of, if time permits today, I'll tell you also how to make cinnamon sugar toast the right way. Because this is a debate that little T and I have had for a number of years. Put that in there, kind of whisk it up a little bit. I guess we'll use this little whisker. Oh, that reminds me of growing up. The way you make cinnamon sugar toast is you toast your bread, put the butter on it, and then put that right on top. That's how you make it. Okay, now we're gonna get started with the biscuits. Got our flour, 2½ cups of flour. Onesie. 2Z. And a 1/2 Z. Come on, come on. Oh yeah, we got enough. 2½ of that. Let's see, baking powder, 1 tablespoon. Salt, 1 1/4 teaspoons. 1. Okay, we have that. And then we have baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon. Whisk it all up. Sure, it's fun making biscuits. Actually, it's more fun to eat the biscuits. Okay, we'll set that off to the side. Now, using your fingers, pastry cutter, or fork, work the shortening. Oh, shortening. I've already put it in the refrigerator. It's 2 tablespoons of cold shortening. It's amazing that it only requires 2 tablespoons. I think I'm going to use pastry cutter. You're going to do this, we've done this before, until it comes out to pea size. This is sometimes where I need advice from my wonderful wife. Let's see if it's doing a whole lot yet. Maybe I should work with my fingers a little bit.
Looks good to me.
It has the seal of approval.
Maybe do it a little bit more while I tell him how to make cinnamon toast.
Okay.
The real way to make cinnamon toast is to take your bread and butter it with soft butter, sprinkle it with cinnamon, sprinkle it with sugar, and then put it in the broiler so that it caramelizes the cinnamon sugar on top. Just make sure you set a timer, because if you don't, the smoke alarm will be your timer.
That's how the kids always knew that the toast was done at home. That's why you don't do it that way, because the toaster will not burn.
But it tastes so much better my way.
All right, now we're gonna do the butter. Using the box grater, slice the butter. So I've already put the butter, it was supposed to be frozen. I believe it was 8 tablespoons. So this will be interesting how to do this. That side, I assume, is a good side. It does make it easier when it's frozen, I will say that. That's probably why the recipe recommends that.
Should it be the side with the sauces?
We're now going to try a different side based on recommendation from my wife. Let's hope we don't grate in. I think I'm just going to have to take it off, guys. I'm a person that doesn't like to get his hands greasy. And obviously, I'm losing at that battle today. I do believe this is a better side. Thank you for that advice.
You're welcome.
Two hours later. Good thing we don't have 16 tablespoons of this, because that would be my workout for the day. When you work this in, it says that you can do it with your fingers or you can do it with a pastry cutter. I think I've always done it with a pastry cutter.
You gonna try your fingers today?
I don't know. If you ever watch the British Bake Off, they all do it with their fingers. I don't think I'm of quite that quality yet. I got a ways to go. My goodness, that's a lot of butter. We didn't say that this was a healthy biscuit. We said it was going to be a nice tasting biscuit. We're filming this on Easter, so it's going to be our little brunch today. Okay, I believe this is where you toss the sheets of butter in the flour and then lightly work the butter pieces between your fingers or use a pastry cutter. I guess since my fingers are already messed up, we're going to try this. Little T might have to give me some advice. I don't know. I've never done this part before. We're going to do this when the dough resembles coarse sand and there's still some small pieces of butter showing. It's getting there. Right now it's big sand. It's kind of nice. It's kind of meditative. Probably ask for a little advice here shortly. What does little T think of that?
Let's see. There's still pieces of butter. Looks like coarse sand. Maybe just lightly fluff and see if you see any large chunks that you might want to break up. And it looks perfect.
Okay. Now, this is a little bit different than what we've done on other ones. We're going to place this in the freezer for 15 minutes. You might have noticed that our kitchen looks a little bit different because we've moved. 3 moves in 3 years. Very exciting.
Still in the same apartment complex, but now we're in an upstairs apartment. And we have an excellent view of the airport. And Lucy's already gotten settled here. Having a little mid-morning nap. Right out this window. Across there is the airport runway. Facing the west, we have seen several pretty sunsets.
It's been 15 minutes in the freezer. I've preheated the oven to 450 degrees. This is a new oven, so we're going to assume that the temperature is going to be pretty close to what they recommend. Take this out. And the next thing we're going to do, I've already chopped up which were supposed to be pecans, but we're going to use walnuts. That is a 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. We're going to put that into the mixture. We're going to add 1 1/4 cup of cold buttermilk. I'm going to carefully only add probably about 1 cup, and then we'll just see what happens in terms of the dough. Last time we did it, it was a little bit runny, and I learned that if it gets runny, it's hard to kind of get that ratio back because you just keep adding more and more flour, which is not good for the recipe. So we're just going to add this in there. Looks like we're definitely going to need some more. The dough is supposed to be shaggy and sticky. And we've got a ways to go for that. There's still quite a bit of dry flour in there. Got a little bit more. Looks like we're gonna end up doing just about the whole thing, I think. I think I'm gonna just add it all in, don't you think? That's my recommendation. And then we'll start, see if it kind of forms into a ball. It feels pretty good. So I'm gonna put a little bit of flour. And this is gonna be just like the last recipe we did. I'm gonna kind of treat it the same way. We're gonna form it into about an 11 by 6 rectangle. One thing I learned last time is we don't want to work it too much. It's need to be a little bit longer. It looks more like a square to me. We're gonna make it as best we can because we're gonna try to fold it 3 times. Now it's starting to look a little more rectangular. This is actually the most fun I have during the process. I like to do this even though I don't know what I'm doing. It sure is satisfying though. Okay, so this is number 2. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Stretch this out one more time. Fold it one more time. It's turning back into a square. The Big B must like squares better than rectangles. We're gonna go ahead and go with it. Fold, fold. Just a little bit of flour, and then now we're gonna shape it to start cutting it. Yeah, that's perfect timing. Okay, so now we do have a rectangle. That's good. Okay, it's because it's supposed to get about 12. Let's kind of just take a guesstimate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. Do not twist the cutter. There's big bold letters there. So technically this is supposed to come out to about 12. So we're gonna go ahead and do is see how many we can get out of this. 5. We're gonna get 8 out pretty easily. 8. And those are always the best ones. They look the best because then you have to work this dough. It just doesn't want to stay together as much as it does when it's originally. Good enough. Okay. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna melt our butter. Warm this up for about 25 to 30 seconds. It sure is needed for the cinnamon crunch on top. I know you can't see it on the camera, but my mouth just watered slightly. I'm very excited. If you don't know much about me, I'm in love with biscuits. Maybe not biscuits that I make, I'm still learning so much, but just biscuits as a whole. I can eat biscuits in the morning, I can eat them for lunch, dinner, and everything in between. Okay, and then we're just gonna sprinkle that mixture. Again, I'm just gonna use my fingers. It'll be a little bit messy, but the more we put on there, whoo, the crunchier it's gonna be. We are going to set a timer so that we don't end up putting the smoke alarm on. If our kids are watching this video, I'm sure they're smiling right now because it used to be that when little T would make the cinnamon toast, eventually all the kids would have to crawl through the house because the smoke was so bad, and it was a great training exercise.
This could be an exaggeration.
Ooh, I'd have to say, kind of messy, but they look pretty darn good if you ask me. Okay, so they're all ready to go in the oven. It says 12 to 15 minutes, and I'm gonna set it for 12. It says to rotate them halfway through. Okay, in they go. This is exciting. Set the timer for 12 minutes. Now it's just the waiting game and cleanup. It's been 12 minutes, so we're gonna check them because it said 12 to 15. Little T is gonna help me determine. Ooh, oh, they look pretty done.
Look pretty close, yep.
I'll choose one more. Let's choose this one right here.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay, so it's a good thing we didn't set it for the 15. Everybody's oven is different. And they're very hot. Oh, yes. Now they all look pretty good. I don't think they rose as much, and this one right here is our last oddball. I'll have to eat him. I don't think they rose as much as I hoped. Maybe I worked the dough too much. That's one of my problems. I like working the dough, but even though it says you shouldn't work the dough, I want to work the dough.
You need to do yeast bread.
Yeah. But hopefully they'll taste good. We're gonna let them cool down a little bit, and I'll try one with some of the butter, and I'll probably put a little jelly on them. And Tina's even making some tofu scramble and some hash browns for our brunch. So this is an exciting day. We're really celebrating Easter big time. Okay, now comes the fun part. I'm gonna test one in advance of our brunch. See what it looks like. Looks good. We're gonna go ahead and use up some of this butter that's already melted. I'm gonna put a little bit of this inside there too, because I like the cinnamon a lot. But I am gonna add a little bit of. This is just personal preference. I'm a big jelly guy. Oh boy, my mouth is watering. Can't wait. Let's take this one right here. Smell the aroma. You can't hear it probably, but it crunched. That's a good biscuit. I'm not bragging. It's the recipe and coaching from Little T. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I know sometime I'll be doing another biscuit and another biscuit, and maybe by the end of the year, all of you guys can compare my progress, because right now I'm in the learning stage, but it does taste good. Subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment, and we'll see you soon.